One thing that lizards and cats have in common is a tail. However, everyone knows that cats and lizards are not genetically closely related at all. They both have tails because of an evolutionary effect known as analogous traits. An analogous trait is a very similar trait that was developed by two separate species outside of each other's genetic lineages. This is because natural selection has favored this trait in both of their environments.
This is in contrast to the type of similar traits that are found more commonly in the world. For example, most birds have feathers because their common ancestors developed them first. The gene was passed down through the generations and has been favored by natural selection as well. So while many species of birds have feathers, this is due to a common ancestor and not to separate genetic lineages, both containing feathers.
One good example of an analogous trait is the occurrence of fins between dolphins and sharks. Although dolphins and sharks both descended from the same base common ancestor, as all life did, their genetic trees have split long ago, resulting in dolphins being mammals with a wide array of differences from sharks, who are in the class of chondrichthyes, or cartilage fish.
The key point here is that sharks and dolphins split from each other's lineages before the occurrence of fins. They both separately developed fins through natural selection in separate genetic ladders, but perhaps for the same survival-based reasons.
An analogy in human history to this effect is the development of different numeral systems. The Roman numerals were created by the Etruscan civilization in what is now Italy during the first millennium BC. Separately from this, the Arabic numeral system was derived from the Brahmi numeral system in the 3rd century BC. These two systems of numbers operate very differently and were created completely separately from one another, but both serve the same function, much like fins in the ocean.
Analogous traits provide a great example of natural selection at work. These traits show environments that cause organisms to adapt in similar manners, despite having very different ancestries. It's important that this effect is understood, because having the same type of body part does not imply a direct link in genetic history.